is up, man? 25 minutes late. I don't like this. I was about to cancel this shit because of
you was about to commit some Harry Carey. That's what you were about.
I was, man. I was getting pissed off here. I was like, dude, I just spent, like, I'm telling everybody, buy this camera, and like, I'm running into all these issues. Man, I need to report this to Insta360. I'm like, hey, your little app is like interfering with OBS, and you guys need to fix that shit. So, what's up, man? We're back on another Thursday night here with SIKSLAYER and the Realist from he's from New York, but he's in PA. He's still representing PA.
I'm repping New York. Oh, never get that twisted. All right,
Texas.
Never ever Texas get that
here.
twisted.
New camera setup on my side because I got the new 360 Link camera, which is pretty badass because if I move, it tracks me.
And I move, it moves just like that.
Exactly. It moves. If I stand up, it moves with me. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that.
I don't know what feed you're showing us here on thing. All I see is a gray screen.
Oh, it's just my
the desktop.
That's my desktop.
Yeah.
That's all you can see right now. But they're showing, all they see is the logo right now. So I had my tabs ready to go. Now I don't even know what I had open because I closed them out to restart the computer. It's BS, dude. I swear. Anyways,
you'll figure it out.
At least I know what it is right now. I can avoid it next time, but oh well. So what's up, guys? What are you guys doing? What you guys been up to since last week? What you guys been playing?
Okay, Alan. Been playing some Iron Meat. Still playing that Octopath. I haven't tried a Starfield yet. I'm so embarrassed to say. I haven't tried it yet. But so, and here's the funny thing. As soon as it was available, because it was like 11 o'clock in the morning that day, I had checked like half hour before to make sure, I had all the downloads all good to go, right? And so, okay, now it's 11:15 or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I came back, my drink. Oh, it's about to be on and popping. Launch. Needs to download more shit. I'm like, motherfucker. I got so pissed off. I started playing some other shit while it downloaded in the background, doing this, doing that, clicking on the internet. 5 hours later, I'm like, oh, damn it, I didn't play Starfield. Now I don't want to play it because I'm tired now. And so I haven't tried it yet. But, I mean, the fans were loving it, but I haven't tried it yet. But I've seen some footage on it. It looks dope. The lighting looks dope. They had a lot of melee weapons, which is consistent with, the plot of House of Rune and stuff like that. They like to use melee weapons and stuff. Bruh, looking nice.
Man, I just been playing up. I started playing more of the the Lost Crown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been playing more of that. And some of those
Yeah, so it was on
puzzles,
sale,
man,
but I missed it.
you
Yeah.
gotta time it just right with some of those puzzles in that game. To get to get whatever you're supposed to get, some goal, like a new ability or something like that. They got
Snap.
They got feather.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking about Iron Meat earlier, right? Oh, that's like the Contra clone that came out to everything, right? PC, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, blah blah. But it doesn't have an online co-op mode, but it has a local co-op, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Steam just posted an Iron Meat account. Just posted. If you want to play online, you could use the Steam Remote Play, right? And play with people online. Remote play together. And that could work as an online co-op. I'm like, holy, Steam just, man. And today they did they did like a new update to Steam, like the beta version, where they updated their recording and stuff, like the video recording feature that they just added last month, right? And now it does ultra wide, because they just did that patch recently to Space Marine where it could do ultra wide. Now other games do. Final Fantasy does. Is it Ragnarok? Yeah, Ragnarok also supports ultra wide. But anyway, yeah. So Steam been adding the features, bro. They've been adding the features, and look, man, it even provides for online co-op for a game that didn't really have it, but had local co-op. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I'm just learning this now.
I'm still throwing out because now my whole thing's out of whack because of this delay here. Shit, man. What do you got?
What you been playing, bro?
Oh man. So I finished Final Fantasy 16. I finished
Ooh. You was balls deep in that for real. You always did say.
I told you, man, I was grinding that one. Man, I liked it. So
you liked it.
I beat that. Yeah, I liked it. I beat Astro Boy, whatever it's called.
Astro Boy.
So was Final Fantasy more linear, or is it still?
It's
how is it?
It's linear because there are hub worlds. Like when you click on an area in the map, there's a little hub world you go into. So it's not completely open world. It's like there are boundaries. And when you get to the boundary to get back into the world, it prompts you to select a area on the map. Honestly, that's cool because loading times are very short. You're never out of the game for, I counted, it was 8 seconds was the longest load screen I had. Wow. So that's the plus to having those hub worlds versus a completely huge wide open world. And so, yeah, and I was trying to get a platinum on Astrobot, man. I got bored though. So 70% is where it's gonna stay for a while. Sifu hit Game Pass. I bought it on Epic. Sifu was never in Game Pass.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was on Xbox, but I think it was on Game Pass because I tried it before.
It did drop, right? It went to Game Pass. I mean, it went to Xbox, right? It was a big deal. So,
yeah, it was.
They tried to. But it was never in Game Pass, though.
I'll look it up because there's another one that I want to give to Tech to talk about later. So yeah, I'll look that up.
It was never in Game Pass. And what else? And so before Final Fantasy, I was already playing Trails in the Sky. So started back onto that one. Yeah. Now, Tech, man, I don't know. You seem to like those types of games. You should try it. It is the Legend of Heroes games. It is. They're old, and now they have a new one that came out. I mean, they always bring out a game every year, but something every year. But man, the story is cool, man. But it always makes me go to sleep. I can't help it. That's why I like Final Fantasy. If you played it, the only thing it's not is turn based, but the way the combat is. That's the last one. Yeah, there's a few of them. You got Legend of Heroes, Reverie. Yeah, that's a bunch of them, bro. But start from the beginning, and and that's how you know that like they have a nice following because they never go lower than $30. Even on key sites, I had to pay 20 something dollars for the game,
Yeah.
and this is Stars from the Sky, not these newer games. This is old. Uh, I bought it on GOG. That was the lowest price that I got a game for. But you got the modern games that are in Game Pass. Man, there's just so many games. You got did y'all try the Metaphor demo?
Yeah, apparently, if you play that, like you unlock because it's like the prequel, it's like the prelude of the game. So if you're interested in getting the game, it behooves you to play that part, right? Because it's like the prelude into the game. Yeah, it's a good idea to do it.
Yeah. Same thing with like most of these demos. They're allowing your progress to carry over and things like that. But man,
it's not
I still have to beat.
It actually is like an early level of the game.
What do you want to call it there, man? They call
like
it
level
the demo.
0, basically. Like level 0.
But okay, I still haven't beat Reload Persona 3 yet. So it's like and then Ishin. Like I haven't beat. There's so many games that I bought that I haven't beat yet. So it's like, man, I want to play this game, but I also know that's a huge time sink. I didn't finish Persona 5. So right now, since I'm done with Final Fantasy, I finished Astro Boy last night. I think I'm gonna beat Sifu or start Sifu. When I played it, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was broken because some people were beating it, but it was difficult to a fault, but not like a Souls game difficult. It's like, how in the hell is he hitting me kind of difficult? You know what I mean? Like cheap broken difficult. But it's out of that. You know, I've heard a lot of people talking about what is that? Legends of Mana, Trials of Mana.
Oh, Trials of Mana and Legends of Mana. Yeah.
That's what's it.
Mario thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about that afterwards.
But yeah, that's. I just need to figure out my next game. You know, because I downloaded what is that game? Sifu and the two Mana games in Persona 3. I kind of want to finish that because see the thing is I bought it right. They were in Game Pass, right? 4 and 5 were in Game Pass, and then 3 Pocket right came out on Game Pass. Then they came out with Reload. I bought all of those games when they were getting ready to leave Game Pass.
Right.
And I need to knock out Reload, right? Because it's $70. And I got the DLC. I don't want to buy that game later. You know what I mean? It'll take forever for it to get to the price where I want to pay for it, like $20. So I need to knock that out.
I hear that.
Is this the thing you were talking about? You were all irate about Nintendo doing something.
Oh no, that has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with this. But since you have this up, okay. First thing, Sifu was never on Game Pass. I thought it was for like 2 weeks, like a year or two ago, but I guess not.
No, it hit Xbox after not being on Xbox forever.
Right.
It wasn't on Steam either. It was only on Epic and PlayStation.
Right.
And so it seems like whenever PlayStation makes a deal, Epic backdoors the deal. So like they'll come
Sony
in
and Epic seem to partially be in cahoots. It seems like, or at least they're
cahoots.
At least not against each other.
Well, to an extent, because we already know Epic wants. But see, this is all right. I'm gonna go on a slight tangent, then I'll let you talk.
Like I'm already off. You guys do what you want.
No. I just like when it comes to Epic, because you know what the way PlayStation operates is a slap in the face to all of the people that they sign time exclusivity deals through, right? Because Epic offered them money for exclusivity on PC, right? They pay to keep games off of PC while they're putting games on PC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when the opportunity came for them to do what they've been doing for or two people, depending on how you want to look at it, over all these years, they said no.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because Epic offered them a lump sum for all of their games to be in the Epic Store first, or exclusively, and they said no.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that are always trying to pay to keep games off of other platforms.
Yep.
I think it's arrogant. It's a slap in the face to like every partner they've ever had, because they're basically showing you that, basically telling you you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, we can do this. Do what we say? No, we do.
Right.
Because you look at, like, they're paying to keep these games off of PC, man. Like, I can understand Xbox to a lesser extent, but I think exclusivity is bad for business. I like it for my console war, but it's bad for business. That's what I was saying on our legal show. Like, Xbox can end the console war if they wanted to, but
instantly,
the way that they would have to end the console war is bad for business.
Yeah,
they would basically have to starve PlayStation of content. That means they would sell less content, but ultimately people would be on a console where they don't think there's a whole lot of value anyway. You know what I mean? So I just think it's kind of crazy that PlayStation thought that they were too good to take the deal that they offer so many others, because Tencent is what, 4 times their size, could be 10 times if the Chinese government didn't intervene and mess up a lot of Chinese companies. But well, they were worth 964 billion before the Chinese government messed with all that. Basically broke them all up. Because I invest in Tencent, so I did some research into them. They were basically, all this divestiture that CMA was trying to get Microsoft to do. The Chinese government basically made them divest a lot of their companies, and not just them, other companies too. So they went from being worth 964, almost the fourth or fifth $1 trillion company, to being worth half a billion or half a trillion. So they're bigger. Yeah. They're a bigger company than Sony. It just seems like, because if you look at what Square has done for PlayStation, they basically helped build PlayStation to the detriment of their IP.
Yes,
simply put. And I've always said that that's not a good play. Like, exclusivity is bad for the games. It could be good for the platform. Because see, the thing is, when PlayStation would get the exclusivity, people weren't buying it. Same thing with Epic. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not against Epic like a lot of guys are, but people are not buying from Epic for whatever reason. I don't care what their reasons are. You have to reconcile the fact that they're not buying from your platform.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. So, like, exclusivity is just killing IP.
And they're about to expand into mobile, which is one of the links that I sent in the chat. If you want to talk about it, they're about to get into that too. But let me just do a real actually, you want to talk about that afterwards, because I mean,
talk about it.
Talk about that now.
Hey, your man is out of sorts, man.
Yeah, I'm already out of sorts, man. You guys can talk about what you want.
Oh, it's not that, because we could talk about the Epic mobile play now, but he had this footage up all this time, and so I kind of like,
go for it.
Okay,
right. So I don't know what I should talk about first.
Yeah, talk about it, because I don't know anything about it, so I want to hear about it.
Yeah. All I know is that they're about to put their stuff on mobile too, so they're gonna do the same thing that they're doing on mobile with like their mobile app. They're gonna put a bunch of games up for free. The same.
I thought you were talking about Mario.
Oh no! Oh, about Mario? Well, I just realized now with the Epic thing, it's a lot shorter. So let me just say, Epic is about to come out, with a mobile app, right? Like an app store.
Okay.
Right, for mobile games. Okay. And they're gonna run the same play they've been doing on PC, where they're giving away a bunch of PC games.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're doing.
I thought there was some controversial thing going on.
No. It's the same play they've been running on PC, right? Or they get you onto their platform. They give you a bunch of free shit, so that way you have, a catalog already, and now you don't want to leave them. It's the same play they're running.
Well, see, the thing is like, I think mobile will be a tougher fight than PC.
Yeah, it is.
Because,
and yet at the same time, I think it's more germane that they try that over there,
Wait,
because it's going to be hard for them.
So now you have to download a Epic
App Store. Yeah.
Right.
Or right from Google Play or the Apple Store, right?
No.
Right.
Or you just sign
It's from the it's from the browser. Now, since Apple is like really, really closed off, maybe that we'll see. And another thing is that's not in America. It's not. It's
EU. I think so.
It's not. That's what I was about to say. That's not in America.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't even know. I don't even think there's anything that they could do here yet. But on Android, you go to the browser and you download the app or the browser.
Like you do with the Amazon store.
Right. So that's because I have it. I have the Epic thing on my phone. So it's basically soccer cards,
I don't think the
Fall
App Store
Guys.
is there for mobile yet. It's PC stuff. But I imagine the same app.
No, bro. You can play the games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't used that app in a while to like log in or whatever because my PC stays logged in with that nowadays, right? So from time to time, you have to use it as the two-factor.
Bro, think about it. My kids play Fortnite on their tablets.
Oh no, I get that, but I'm saying in terms of right, and that's what I was saying. The same mobile app that you already have is going to be the one that they start giving away the mobile apps on, right? Because you can manage your PC games there as well, right? And set them to install, just like you do with the Steam app on mobile, right? So it would be the same thing as what I'm saying. So yeah, it makes sense. It's not even going to be a different app, which is a lot like the Xbox app now. They're integrating all their functionality into one app. Which they,
and I thought that was stupid the whole time anyway.
Yeah. So it's great
because I have 3 Xbox apps on my phone: a family app, a xCloud app, and then the Xbox app.
Oh, I had 4 because I always had the Xbox and the Xbox beta. So I got the functionality in the beta app like a week before everybody else. When they first announced it, it was in the beta app, right?
And before that, I had Smart Glass.
Right, Smart Glass. Right. Yes, I still have that app installed. I still have it. Right? But
still works?
I don't know. I just still have it.
I don't think so.
I don't even know. I don't think so
either. I don't even think you can download it from Android anymore.
I delete everything.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's still installed, but I don't think it works anymore.
I still had.
But yeah,
I still had. What was that? Mighty Doom. After they shut it down, I was like, "Oh, I still got this game. Let me try it out." Server dead. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, you got me to play Mighty Doom, but it's a rip off of Archero. And Archero is making money. Archero's been around for like 8-9 years. I've never put any money on it.
And speaking of mobile apps, for game platform, there's also the PlayStation app. I had not logged into my PlayStation account in a long time, so I went on the website and did that. I can't see my games. I can't see my trophy. I can't see none of that. All that shit is only in the mobile app, right? Because I want to add what's his name from the Spaces, Alvin. I forget his name. But yeah.
I don't know. Like all my friends are because you accepted my request.
Right.
All my friends are Xbox people on PlayStation, except for Rome and Steve-Bob. Oh no, I'm friends with.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about.
Who?
Bing.
Bing.
Spaces from Twitter Spaces.
Like green eggs and ham thing 1 thing 2.
Bing.
Bing.
Bingaling?
Yeah.
Bing. Yeah, Bing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know Bing.
But anyway, I had to add him to my PlayStation account, right? And I went on the website. I couldn't do any of that shit, right? Like, the trophies is not there to see. All you can see on the website now is like to resubscribe to PSN, right? Because I'm not subscribed, right? And to send, to buy games, of course, and to send games that you already have in your account, to download to your system. You know how you could do that, right? Or you can go to a website, whatever. But you can't see your friends list. You can't add, remove friends. You can't see your catalog of games. You can't see nothing. You have to do all that shit now in the mobile app. That's the only place it is.
Yeah.
That shit is nuts. Nobody else does it.
I actually think that they have the best app.
That app is confusing to me. It took me a while to figure out.
Nah, bro. You can buy games through it.
You can buy games. All that stuff is easy, but when you want to like navigate your friends and all that shit is horrendous.
Oh no,
but,
I don't
you know how
really have
go,
friends,
man. When you want to buy stuff, man, that's always the easiest, and you know they put all their energy into that. But that's expected.
Because I always wonder why Xbox will let you buy games through their app.
But they do.
Mm-mm.
But it's a pain. But it's more of a pain than it should be. But it's not a horrible.
You can buy them on the website, but you can't buy them through the app.
I almost never do anyway, but I know I have before. But yeah, I usually do it on the web. I don't even do it on the console. I do it on the web, right? So maybe I'm wrong. But speaking of games, let me finish talking about this Mario thing since you've had the footage on.
What's up with this Mario thing, man?
Okay, so in 2004, Mario Adventure was made. It was like a ROM hack. That was a good year for games, right? And even in the modding scene, it was a good year because Mario Adventure 1 came out. It was a mod for Mario 3, complete new levels. It had save game support, all that kind of stuff, right? Yep. But it worked on real hardware, right? And then in between, the developers started working on another one, had lost some data, but still learned some stuff from it, right? And then started over, like, I don't know how many years ago, right? But so 20 years later, since the release of the original Mario Adventure, here's Mario Adventure 3 with new power-ups, new levels, all types of stuff, right? You can go to Mario Adventure 3 right now. You you copy in your ROM. It'll spit you out a new version, of Mario Adventure 3, right? Yeah. Whichever the latest version is, and if you follow the website, you'll see all the changes. And come to find out, the developer is a woman. I had no idea, right? And I gotta say, man, low key in game development, there's a lot of women who have put on in this industry since the earliest days, right? And a lot of these women are just unknown. I remember a couple of years ago at the Game Awards, there was this
they just do their job. That's the thing.
Yeah, they do their job right. Not
like today's developers who's trying to make a thing out of it,
Right.
With their
and like trying to push morals and politics and all types of and some of the best games ever, like Centipede was made by a woman, right? I had no idea until like I was like 15 or 16. I read that in an article somewhere. Most people didn't know that back then, right? And I was in 95 when I found out. But anyway, okay, so this woman, she, just came out with this like a week and a half ago, maybe, right? And in fact, if you go to her live channel right now, she's playing it right now on like the third and fourth level. Mario Adventure 3 is freaking awesome. The original Mario Adventure was awesome, and it runs on real hardware, right? If you have like a flash card or whatever. And in fact, some people started making like reproductions of the original Mario Adventure, right? With a battery backup and all of that, right? Great game. I remember I played it for like 2 weeks after I first got it in 2005. I used to play on my modded Xbox, right? In fact, I'm pretty sure I still have it because I just pulled out my modded Xbox, my original modded Xbox. Okay, that's that right there. I plan to do a video about it. Yep. Man, wait till you see. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the ROM is still on there with my save game and everything. I used to play the crap out of that. And I've been playing this a little bit, but I've been very busy this week. Yep. But yeah, MarioAdventure3.com. You can go try it out. Scarlet Vixen is the account. You can see the YouTube page. I believe she's playing it right now live as we speak. And awesome game, man. This is the kind of thing, if it was for Nintendo, if you leave Nintendo to their own devices, you would never see shit like this. Never. Because this is like if Mario Brothers Part 4 ever existed in a parallel universe. Yeah. Well, here it is. In our universe. All types of power-ups. Like you have a Ninja Mario, you have Hammer Brothers Mario, you have like a flame Nuki suit or whatever. Yeah. You have an Ice Mario with ice fireballs, all types of crazy, and as a save game. And progression, get cherries, all types of all types of years. Man, gameplay is still on point. Still fun to play, right? And so yeah, Mario Adventure 3, check it out. But anyway, the reason I wanted to speak about that is not only is it awesome, right? And I wanted to geek you out about that a little bit, but also Nintendo and their anti-emulation bullshit. Now they've taken out Ryujinx. Yo, dude, and I was saying for a long time, if this,
Nintendo.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo, and that's what it is, man. They keep doing all this bullshit about emulation. See, they know emulation is legal, and they know they would lose in court if they tried. So what they do is the same thing that happened to Bleen, right? Like they won in court, but what happened is they still have to shut down the company anyway because they had to spend all their money in lawyer fees, right? But Sony lost in court. That's why emulation is legal, right?
Okay, so let's see.
It was
Ryujinx, the other Switch
Ryujinx, yeah, right, because they basically low key threatened the developer and said blah blah blah, and it's basically it is what it is now. Like they're threatening them with such litigation, even though they know they won't win, right? They're going to make this dude broke in the process, right? It's a bully tactic. That's all it is. They know they would lose in court, right? And they definitely don't want that to go to court, right? And I wish the EFF or whatever would fund his court fees or whatever and take this to court because Nintendo would lose, and they definitely don't want that. They would rather make a deal before they really take it to court. It's just a threat. That's all it really is, right? And so I've been saying this for a long time that I was looking to get the new Switch.
Everybody else is gonna go and get in line and like stop emulating, or
I don't know what's gonna happen. But Nintendo has been false flagging all types of people on YouTube if they show any kind of Nintendo content. Like Retro Game Corp, he did an emulation video of these handhelds. All these retro handhelds that I've been talking about lately.
So is it more the gameplay to keep they're against, or what? I mean, we have Nintendo channels like crazy. Are you gonna tell me they get flagged all the time?
Yeah, man. They do that shit for a long time. And it used to be years ago, they tried to have a deal with the content creators where they would take most of the money and give them like 20% or whatever, right? To allow them to do it. And Nintendo got such bad press about it.
So if I want to stream my Switch,
yeah, it's a freaking problem with Nintendo.
Really?
Bro. It really is. Yes, it's a freaking problem with Nintendo. They are really fucked up over. That's why I'm saying, fuck Nintendo.
I thought it was more
and
about
on
the
top,
emulation stuff. Which
no, bro.
So
okay, the emulation stuff, at least you say that.
As a Switch owner, I can pop in Super Smash Brothers,
and they'll give you a hassle over it, bro. They really will.
Stream it just to stream it like any other game that's been streamed.
They will hassle you. They will hassle me. On top of that, like I was saying before, you asked what you asked. Retro Game Corp had put up a video 2 weeks ago or like a month ago about this ROM card for the Switch, but he proves that he has the real game, so he's not stealing or anything, right?
Yeah.
And so they flagged him over that. Okay, now that made sense. Okay, fine. Eventually, he got the flag eliminated, right? But then he did another video, and as soon as I saw the headline, I'm like, bro, man, they're gonna flag you again, even though it was about the Wii U emulation that they have on these Android handhelds now, right? Yeah. But the Wii U is dead now. Even the store is dead. Nintendo's not making them any money off the Wii U. Yeah. And they still flagged his video. And they still flagged dude's video.
That's crazy. Like
the problem is that the Switch 2, whatever they're gonna call it, is gonna be backwards compatible.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
So that's why they don't want them to basically exploit that.
Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to the Wii U, like most Nintendo fans are like PlayStation fans. They're always asking for something from the past. You can't give us a new one, give us the old one. So him showing them that basically kills their whole weak service proposition that they have, where they give you old games in their online service, right? And never really the games you really want as a Nintendo fan.
Right.
What Nintendo wants, same thing that I said about PlayStation, they want control. And so they couldn't go after the people in Brazil because it wasn't going to fly over there. There was nothing that they can do in Brazil. They basically got the guy to just say, okay. They probably paid him. And it would be real nasty if they paid him with the money that they took from the other company. But there was nothing they could do in Brazil. Right. I don't know if y'all know, but Brazil has a large Japanese community. And so that's probably why they even have a Japanese name to begin with.
Yep.
And so I learned all that because my boy,
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right?
He was like Machida. Y'all watch UFC?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Dang, I thought you did, man. Well, anyway,
Me? No,
so yeah,
never got
Yeah,
into it.
man.
Yeah, never got into it.
so there was
Bro, I'm
nothing that
disappointed in you.
well, there was nothing that they can do to him in Brazil. Because you
Right,
remember,
because
like
the
even
laws over
with the
there are
whole
almost
with the
against.
whole court thing with Microsoft, they weren't hearing none of what PlayStation Sony had to say.
Right.
You're the market leader. You outsold by this and that, and they only have this. Get out of here. So
Yep.
they really don't have time for the bull crap. Seems like they're probably one of the lesser corrupt countries in terms of
In
how they
in
govern.
that regard. Yeah, because they're highly
Yeah,
corrupt in other ways, as we
oh, yeah,
know.
I'm pretty sure because it's a crap hole. But from everything I heard, I've never been. But yeah, that's why. But I'm not mad at Nintendo because Nintendo is just trying to protect what's theirs.
Eh,
And yes, emulation is not illegal, but they don't want it out there. You know what I mean?
fuck
And
Nintendo because
I heard,
you know why?
I'm hearing that
Because they
I'm
could
hearing that
put
they
in the
have
work,
problems
though.
with.
Because they could put in the work, to put all their old
Say
stuff.
it
They
again.
got emulation technology, and they have access to
But
a bunch of
that's
emulators of their
theirs.
own. And
But
so
it's
do
theirs.
something with it. And if you don't,
But
people will. So and
but
people
see
don't
that's
care. People don't
this is why they
care, and
call
they'll sit
this is
there
why
and
they call PC gamers entitled. See, it's
no,
not
dude, no,
yours.
it's not entitled. It's not entitlement. They're sitting there. It's Nintendo's actually being entitled. People want to purchase the stuff, and they're not
And
selling
they
it.
don't want to sell it to you. Go to a
Well, then
garage sale.
fine.
Don't you remember where they told you where to go? They told you to go to a garage sale.
Well, then you see what's gonna happen though. They would
Well,
rather
look,
people buy. Oh, Nintendo doesn't even make any money off of that, right? So it's just like you know what I'm gonna
that's
say already.
outside,
So you can tell me
that's outside their control though. That's all I'm saying is they want to control what's theirs. And if they sold it and somebody else bought it and they sold it and they're selling it at a garage sale because they literally said this, Tech. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm not joking. They said if you want to get this used game, go find a garage sale or a pawn shop.
yeah, they literally said that. But here's
And
the thing:
so,
they
go
want
ahead.
control, and it's innate in humans to fight control. So fuck Nintendo. This is what I've been trying to say. This is the third time I'm trying to say it, right? Like, yo, I was planning to get, the Super Switch or whatever they call it. I've said that multiple times, right? And there's a whole backlog of games I would have to buy. And Nintendo would get a whole bunch of their games. With increase the sales directly off of me. I would end up spending hundreds of dollars on Nintendo games, right? Just on the GP. Now I'm not doing fuck Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo with every fiber of my. I don't like nothing about what they do, how they do it, how they act, the pass they get for the bullshit they do. The fact that their servers were running on Windows 98 until a couple years ago. Literally Windows. It wasn't even on a VM or some shit. It was bare metal. The fuck? And the prices, and they never dropped no prices on nothing. It's fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
They don't have to drop prices. Their stuff sells.
Well, they could sit there and do that all they want because you know what? People ain't fucking with it for long. Eventually, Nintendo's gonna run out of gimmicks, and people are gonna wise up to what's going on, and it'll just be done.
Well, y'all gonna have to wait for that day to see.
And you can repeat. Well, I will. Okay, but you can sit there and repeat all your excuses. All their excuses.
It's not an excuse.
It's just an excuse. I don't care. I don't care if it's the law. I don't care none of that shit. It just makes no sense. It's simple. It's simple logic, man. And they're hiding behind the rules. Or supposedly what the rules are. Fuck Nintendo.
So this guy, he's asking, where did you get this guy from? Talking about you.
Oh yeah, that's my homie right there. What's up, Kieran? What's up?
Oh, that's Kieran.
Yeah, that's Kieran right there. That's the bro.
What up, Kieran? I can't see the chat.
Let Sick fool you. He's the biggest.
I'm the biggest Nintendo fanboy. I don't even play about Mario Adventure 3, man. Like I love their shit, man, but they doing wrong to the community, bro. It's that black and white.
And they know you love it. But they know you love it.
But I don't spend a dime on any of their shit. That's why I don't. That's the one platform I don't own for sure.
I ain't mad at them. I understand you because you're entitled. You are not the only one. Y'all all. Yes, y'all are. Yes, y'all are because it's just like PlayStation. Hold on, real quick. It's just like PlayStation. They don't want to sell Bloodborne. People on PC got mad. All you ponies that jumped to PC waiting on Bloodborne should have kept your PlayStations. All right. PlayStation don't want to sell Bloodborne, so now they're gonna emulate it. So what's gonna happen if they get it running better than Sony ever could have got it running, and then they knock them down? I mean, because it's happened
It'll
with
already be out.
it's happened with games like
It'll
Call of
already be
Duty and
out.
things like that.
It'll
I'm just saying, like
and it
it's
won't
not
matter.
ours
Money,
because they don't do what we want them to do. I'm not taking the side of them. I'm just saying that that's
you're
what's
literally
going on.
you're
No,
literally telling me their excuses to me. So you are.
it's not an excuse. It's theirs.
I don't give a fuck. No one cares, bro. No one gives a fuck. It's not black and white. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
it is.
You don't
It is black and
care.
white.
You don't care. You don't care if the rules is on their side. Don't care none of that shit. It's exactly what's happening with Bloodborne. People are like, yo, tell us the game. They sit there and do nothing. So now they're like, you know what? You won't do it? Then we will. And that's what's happening. And if you notice, that's the first game these developers is working on. The first game that they're putting the most effort in. Right? And it's like, bro, they could make this money, especially PlayStation right now. They could put that money to work. Right? They really need that money right now. They're not in the same situation where Nintendo is. At least Nintendo could sit there and act the way they want because they're still selling. Right? PlayStation is not. Black and white. So, fine. Sit there and talk all that shit if they want. But you see what they're going to do. And say entitled or whatever you want. They want to spend the money. If it was to come out tomorrow, it would sell.
Your money's no good here.
But hey.
Well, then that's their problem.
I got one. Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
So behind me on the wall, there's a poster of Metroid cover art. Am I gonna get in trouble?
Mm-hmm. Maybe one day if they want to find a reason to talk shit to you.
Like it's so back there.
If they found a reason. Probably no,
that
right?
Is bad. I didn't
but
realize
if you,
it was like
but
I
if
understand.
But if you piss them off outside of YouTube, right? Yeah. Man, they will go through all your YouTube accounts to try to find something that you've posted before. And it may be that, it may be some video when you were held up or, a switch in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? They will do that. And that could happen randomly one day, even if you don't piss them off. Or all of a sudden you're getting an old video get flagged. It's happened in the past. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I'm not exactly sure, but it's Nintendo first party games. Like if it's
like Minecraft,
if it's Minecraft and Switch, I don't think they would. Because but Nintendo is Nintendo, and they be Nintendoing like that. Yeah. But I think generally no, right? But like that Metroid poster you have there in the background, if they wanted to come after you, that's the first thing they would do is go through all your YouTube videos to find something they could use to technically say that they're right.
Give me some views.
If they won't, they're going to instantly flag the video, and it won't be getting no views. And Nintendo's just straight fucking bullies like that. So I don't care what the rules are. They're in their legal right or whatever like that. When you act like, fuck that. Fuck Nintendo, bro. That's going to be 3 generations in a row now where I don't fuck with Nintendo. And I grew up with Nintendo. Yeah. I want to give them money, but they keep doing dumb shit. So I'm not with it. Period, man. I vote with my wallet. Fuck Nintendo. All right. Every fiber of my being.
Since all this with my technical issues that I had this morning, we're like 25 minutes behind and all this shit. Let's jump in with this Shadows issue, man. Or the delay. You think they're gonna take them away because of all this back crap?
No.
Because that's not that's the like sort of the talk, where I'm just kind of rolling with the rumors. But
that's the rumors, of course.
They're moving it to Black History Month.
Nah. It's none of that, although that is a good because it's supposed to be delayed to February, right?
Black History
and
Month,
that is Black History Month, but it's not on purpose. It's because they learned their lesson from Outlaws, right? And I've said this many times in the past. If it was Microsoft or any developer who delays a game because they say they need it, I'm going to stand up and applaud, because we already know what happens when you put out a game that needed more work, and it doesn't matter who releases it, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, whoever, right? That's a black eye, and now you have to fight, to fix the black eye, and then to sell like you should have from day one. So if the game needs more time, give it more time, right? It's the same with what's that EA game that Dragon's Age, right? Now that's another game. A lot of people have issues with the wokeness, right? There's trans scars, blah blah blah. They're trying to be so exclusive, but also the game looked a little jank and buggy. outside of all that stuff, it also looked a little jank and buggy, and it looked like it needs some more time in the oven too, on a technical level, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing happened to Starfield. You know, they delayed it a whole year, even though the game was quote unquote complete to Bethesda standards, right? To Bethesda standards, right? And they delayed it for a whole year to give it the spit and polish it needed. So it was the most stable Bethesda game ever at launch, right? I'm not knocking that, but of course, you know, people want to put their narratives in this situation. But that's why me and Realist, we both said no. It's pretty obvious. It just needs some more time in the oven, and there's no need to rush it, particularly now where their financial situation is, right? Because that's what happened with Outlaws. That's what happened with a lot of their shit. They don't need a flop. They need a hit. They need multiple hits, right? Yep. So here's one that's potentially gonna be hit, because it's Assassin's Creed. No matter what, you know, certain people like to say about it. And there's the Asmongold and oh no, it's Alex. And you know, me and you, Tech, we're like-minded in terms of like all this, you know, political correctness shit, right? And the way they force it, right? And as a black man, I like that, but not when it's forced, right? Because then it's like what I was saying about control before. People have the innate urge to fight against control. It's within us as humans. We don't like that shit, right? We don't like to be dictated to or told what to think and feel, right? Mm-hmm. So it already has that issue, you know, and you see with a lot of shit, and Ubisoft has been taking a lot of L's behind that, but also because their games needed more time in the oven. So it just needs more time in the oven. But of course, you know, those people who already are attacking this game over that, right, which is completely false in this case, I feel, right? And it was also false in Star Wars Outlaws, I feel, right? They just want to use that as their talking point, right? You know, for Time to Plays, Asmongold, oh no, it's Alex, all these people, right? And the irony of those two guys to both do that, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just on some racist type shit, but meanwhile, they're not white either, right? So it's just like, what the hell? Especially for Tang, you're not white, bro. You're not white.
But he likes to be the white knight, though. I've never. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've heard about it. You know, because we got Uncle Ruckus on our side. Mm-hmm. But like this dude fights for the white man more than the white man.
Ruckus? Yes, he does.
You know Uncle Ruckus?
I don't know Uncle Ruckus.
Okay. Oh, bro.
Look it up. Look it on YouTube. Look it on YouTube, dude.
Yeah. I remember Boondocks. Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Ruckus. You know, Uncle Ruckus. No relation. That guy. Right. So yeah, basically that's what he's being, right? And yeah, what were you saying?
No, I mean that dude. When I listened to him in the past, and this dude was like, "If you're white, if you're straight," it's like, come on, man, stop. Now he is from Oregon, though.
Right, Oregon. That's what.
He might have been there, and he's starting to believe that he is what he isn't. But enough about that cat. But I don't think that they're gonna take it, because that's the whole game, right?
Yeah.
And then how would it look? The best thing that they could do is because all of a sudden, this is why I don't like this weeb culture. You know, and it's not even the weeb culture. It's not even really the weebs. This is spearheaded by white people.
It's not the weebs at all, right?
This is spearheaded by white people who this whole woke agenda. But then you have black people that are joining in the fight. It's like, dude, look, you wouldn't have any representation, right? Now, I don't like it when they force anybody where they shouldn't be, right?
Right.
We said this before. If you want a gay superhero, go make gay man and let him fly around saving people. Don't make Superman gay.
Yeah.
Don't create Deadshot a daughter. Right? Don't do that. Go create somebody else and let her have her own story and see if people respond to it. But like we said on so many occasions, the problem is that none of these characters' stories can stand on their own. So they have to leech off of another story to build their story. But they're not going to get rid of them, because they would lose too much. So the best thing that they could do, right? Because, you know, I don't know if you guys ever listened to Flight School, but he made a video. He was saying that it was all for profit. Basically, this whole DEI stuff, you know, everything with gaming takes years, right?
Right.
Kind of like Concord. Concord saw, what's the name of that game, Sid? Overwatch. Conqueror saw Overwatch 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but the
That's when they
time
started,
to
8 years ago.
the time to compete was 8 years ago.
Yep.
And so with this whole inclusion initiative, it takes years for you to become a part of it. And now it's, to me, I think it should be evident at this point that everything is failing where they force inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So now they've created this guy, because from what I heard from this guy, he said he heard it is
Right.
that he was originally going to be a Japanese man, because in every other Assassin's Creed it's been somebody from that region,
Yep.
right? Bayek, Ivor, Alexio,
But there
right?
is.
The only
But there is in this one, because it's not just one character; it's two. I think that's the first time it's happened.
well,
Where you get to play in both of them instead of
there
what
was
you just pick.
right. There was always like at Odyssey. That's when they started to bring the
Right.
females in. You can pick a female character, but the thing is, originally it was supposed to be a Japanese man. That's what he said that he heard.
That's what he's
or read.
saying. Right. Sure.
So,
You heard that one.
but let's just say that they're in now, right? Yasuke, he did actually exist. So now all of a sudden we're holding Assassin's Creed to the same standard that we hold Age of Empires.
Right.
Whereas Age of Empires has documentaries on the game that you can click on and watch. Right.
Mhm.
It's historically accurate.
Yes.
There are no demons in real life. Right. Like all these new Assassin's Creeds, you're fighting demons, and a lot of these characters are not even real. So now all of a sudden we're going to hold them to we're going to say it again. What'd you say?
This is the first time where you actually have a real character that's playable. And
that's what I'm saying. So I guess since they have a real character now, you can't have broken Torii gates. You can't have the god the god that they have in the game. Supposedly he's supposed to be untouchable. You can't put him in any media, supposedly. So, because it was Ghost of Tsushima, right? I watched a guy basically break down how historically inaccurate that game is. And we know it's historically inaccurate because the Mongols didn't lose by a fight. They lost through whatever typhoon or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, right.
No. They washed away. A storm came and washed them away.
Yeah.
And then they came back and another storm washed them away, and they said it was God. So that story is not historically accurate. And then when you listen to the director of Ghost of Tsushima, he says we didn't strive to make it historically accurate. We strive to make it fun and respect Japanese culture. But with this whole hate mob in full force the way they are right now, they are going to nitpick everything, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to nitpick everything. They're going to talk about the black man, right? That has very little history. There's very little written about him. So they can create their own story pretty much. But now, when it comes to Japan, it has to be. But I know it's not just the weebs. It's these people that they're gonna make it a point.
Yeah.
And they are motivated.
It's a holy war for them now. It's a
holy they are highly motivated to. If they see it, they're gonna all jump on it. Sweet Baby Ink detected. Now I got a problem with Sweet Baby Ink because she basically helped them overstay their welcome.
Yes.
It's like when you are given access, make way for the people behind you, the other homosexuals behind you. Basically, what you've done is you've ruined it for anybody else that's a homosexual trying to be in the industry. When you say things like "scare your boss," basically go to work and bully them. Bully
all
your
the
boss.
Work that they put in before, all the work that the homosexual, well, not just homosexual, like so the gay community, right?
Well, they're homosexuals because all they talk about. Look, man, they make it about everybody. It's just like Fink, man. Right? I'm not gonna talk too much about him.
It was just that I said homosexual. I'm thinking, that's.
But that's really what it's about.
Lesbian too, right? All gays, right? Like they fought for years. When we were younger, we know the way it used to be and the way it is now, right? And they worked so hard to get to where they are now. Now you have this other group who's messing it up for them, right? It's like what Dave Chappelle said, when he gave the analogy about about all these people in the car, and is that one person, right, who's supposed to represent one of the letters, he's making the trip way worse for the rest of them who were in the same car. It's the same thing.
Okay, like I was saying, Fink possesses the directive. They control $3 trillion, right? It's not about homosexuals. It's not about black people, right? It's about my group.
Yo, Punty.
The whole thing with black people, civil rights, the whole deal, it's been hijacked.
Yes.
The term woke has been hijacked.
Yes.
Right? It's all been hijacked because now we're all one. And so basically what we were fighting for becomes what you were fighting for. Right? And black people are starting to have lost sight. So it is, and right now it's mainly about homosexuals. Because the biggest thing that they're advocating is they, them, and pronouns. You know what I mean? Like when they come in, they make sure that they give you their pronouns and dare you not to address them with the pronouns. That's what it's about. Yeah. It's not about everybody. You just lumped in. You just lumped in, but it's really about them. But anyway, Kim Belair, she's basically messed it up for the people who come behind her. So the second largest company, first largest company, depending on what month it is, backed away from that.
Yep.
You lost the ally. Your biggest ally, right? Financially, because I think Sony is their biggest supporter. But their backer with the most funds was Microsoft. Microsoft said, "Nah, it's okay."
Yeah.
So now what have you done? Like you messed it up for everybody that came behind you. And so I'm kind of glad that it's gone away. But I think that you can't go back to the way it was before, right? I think that they will find ways to have inclusion, but it won't be as corny and as forced as it is right now. Because right now they're forcing it. Right. I listened to that Deadshot's daughter, Lucy Lawless, whatever her name. No, Lucy Lawless is a real person. Whatever her name is. I listened to that trailer twice. It was so corny. I was like, who wrote this?
Yep.
This is horrible. You know
who? It's gonna flop.
Well, I know who wrote it. It was that Sweet Baby Ray's.
Right, because Deadpool versus Wolverine, it was supposed to all of a sudden end up being about Wolverine's daughter, and she was supposed to eventually become like the main character. And the guy who plays Deadpool, I forget his name, right? He's the guy who, ever since anybody saw him in the last Blade movie, Ryan Reynolds. I remember because I saw that last one in the theater. As soon as I saw his character as I forget what, Hannibal Caine, right? I was like, dude, he could be Deadpool, right? He had he had the body type. He was
checking out his body.
I'm just saying, DEI. Right? Crack the jokes, all of that stuff.
Baby oil on deck.
drizzle, right? No Diddy though, right? All that stuff, right? And like, he made that character become what it is in terms of movies, right? Because if it was left to Marvel and Disney or even Fox at the time, that was never gonna happen. Remember, he played the old version of it that they did in Wolverine Origins or whatever it was, right? And that totally pissed off all the fans, and him included, because he wasn't a fan, he didn't know anything about it. He learned about it, and it was like, bro, this could be something, and he made it become something, and that's why it's so successful now. But even this third one that just came out, right? Deadpool and Wolverine that did so well, right? They already had plots and plans to screw it up with their with the same old typical crap, right? But he had creative control, and they couldn't do that to him. Clearly, he's not involved in this new one, the daughter of Wolverine thing. He's right? I'm sorry, the daughter of Deadpool thing. He's not involved in that. So that's why it's already. You could tell off the trailer and even the rumors before then. That thing is gonna be ass, and it's gonna flop like all the other shit that tried to push this narrative. They all fucking flop, bro. Acolytes in Star Wars, all that stuff, and this is from a black man. I want to see these characters, but not when you're forcing it down my throat, because then it's disingenuous, and then it's like a form of control, and then I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm not fucking with that. I will not. And it's something I would have fucked with. Now I'm actively against it because I know what you're trying to do, and I'm not with it. And it's just like you try to make me, sit and think all this crap that you want, not doing it, bro. And I don't hate nobody, but fuck out of here. Especially with the stuff they're saying, like the people from Sweet Baby Inc. and all that stuff, but he was just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they're saying some wild shit that should have never been accepted. But apparently they were saying this shit all along, you know, behind the scenes. Nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, all the info was coming out.
I've been watching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man, it's like the stuff with P. Diddy. Everybody knew about P. Diddy, but nobody did anything until the video came out of him whipping on Cassie's ass. But then to find out why she was even dating him in the first place, I'm not shedding no tears for her. Like, it's not cool what he did to her, and he did a lot of horrible things, but she dropped somebody else to be with him just to get treated like that. And that was the dude who brought her into the industry and made her famous in the first place. And it wasn't Diddy. Just saying. Drizzle.
This new Ghost game, man.
That's another one that's involved in that shit. Yep.
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy what's going on with this lady, but I watched other videos about this and how they pulled up her past. I'm like, dude, it's like it's making the game look bad, you know?
Making it look real bad. And there's probably nothing wrong with the game. There will be nothing wrong with the game. There were no women out there in samurai outfits, right? Because no women were samurai, but there were Kunoichi and other women who were doing things, right? And this is what I was saying about the Battlefield games of the past. There were women who participated in all these wars, World War I and II, right? That they could do real stories about real women who were really in the wars. They don't do that. Instead, they put an amputee with a fake arm, with a prosthetic arm, you know, knocking dudes out with a cricket bat. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think that. But this goes back to what I said earlier. You bring a game out. You have a character. People like the character, right? The hardcore opponents will say, "Oh, he was dry, but you loved him," right? You can't listen to these people that will offend no matter what.
Right.
But this is another time where they bring in a character on the back of another, right? And I don't
tales of the success of the previous game.
Right. And so if you wanted to make a Ronin game with a female, just make a Ronin game with a female and let her have her game instead of calling it Ghost, right? Call it Ronin of Ikishikara, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like I just don't like it because if you they're catering to the audience that is the least involved.
Yes.
Right. When it comes to movies, you make a gay movie, right? And the gay people don't show up for it. You know what I mean? Like when black people got their first superhero, well, in this era, because Blade was the first, right? But it wasn't big back then. Now Marvel is huge. So when they bring out this Black Panther movie, you see people out there in dashikis. You know what I'm saying? The black people showed up for it.
Yes, they did, man. Doing that X thing for a while. That was for a while there.
So like, and Black Panther is old. We know that, but he didn't get the limelight.
Just like Blade.
Well, Blade did. Blade pretty much put Marvel on the map.
Right.
And Blade was cool, and Wesley Snipes was hot too. Wesley Snipes was hot too back then.
But what I'm saying was, he's a character from a similar time, right? From like the 70s and whatnot, right? That most people didn't know about, right? Now, we might have known about it because he was a character on the Spider-Man cartoon. He was a recurring character. So we were somewhat familiar with him. And so maybe even the Blade movie, although I believe it would have been successful anyway, it also helped that that cartoon had existed years prior, you know, to make people aware.
The way it came out was sick. Because it's like,
hell yeah,
it's not your normal superhero,
anyway. Right?
Like, I'm gonna change it to my tights and like fly around
right.
and stuff.
And he's good for everybody and all that. Right.
He's a kick-ass.
He cursed, all of that.
Right.
Yep.
And you know the club setting, which is the most epic thing. You know.
Oh yeah, with the blood.
It's like you don't
the
see
blood
and all that.
You don't see that in a you know a hokey, you know, feel good superhero game. I mean movie. And Like I didn't like,
and
when
it was
came
equal
out,
opportunity
I
too.
had
Everybody
no
got
idea
hit
it
in
was
the
a
face,
comic character.
men and women. Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
he used to be around the 70s. He used to be around the 70s, or just like Black Panther and them.
I just saw Blade.
Most people didn't know.
Dude, this is a badass vampire movie. That was it. That's all I knew about Blade.
Yeah, you didn't know it was a comic book character 2 years later. I bet.
I had no idea.
Yeah, most people didn't. But there you go, right?
But Blade stood in his own, and everybody liked Blade, right?
Right. That's your point.
So, what they're afraid of is if they have a character and it's called Razor, and Razor's a flaming homosexual killing vampires, and he can walk around at night, or she, whatever, it doesn't matter, as long as he's homosexual. Who's gonna show up for it? Like all of these, like, and then it's the archetype that they choose. Like the prettiest one that I've seen is probably Batgirl. But normally they pick the most masculine butch that they can have to be a female.
Right, so no sex appeal on purpose.
But what it is that they're trying to appeal. They're trying to appeal to the people who don't have conventional beauty, and tell them they're pretty too.
Yeah.
But you can tell them that all day, but when they go look in the mirror, they're gonna know the truth.
They know.
So stop trying to push that on the masses, because there's nothing that you're gonna tell to even the goofiest goober out there that girl is pretty. He wants the girl he can't have.
Yeah.
It's just the way, you know what I mean? Like they're doing these things that they make no sense. So Ghost of Yotei, I don't expect it to have similar success as Ghost of Tsushima.
Nope.
A lot of people are going to revolt because of what they've done. But I do think it's a smaller game, and they're going to have to say that Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of wherever, another island in Japan, Ghost of the mainland, they're gonna have to say that that's coming soon. And maybe that'll make this pill a little easier to swallow. But they shouldn't have done that. They should have, but they know it won't sell. But at least this way it'll get some sales. Because Fink has money in Sony, Fink has money in Microsoft. I'm pretty sure that he's got money in Ubisoft. There's a reason why they're all compliant. You know what I mean? It's not that they're doing it because they want to. Because especially at this point in time, they've seen enough failures, right? It takes them so much time to get these things to market that they've seen a lot of failures throughout the development process. So they know that at this point, we might not want to do it, but it's too late because you're already so far in.
This is what I keep asking you guys. It's like, when will this stop? Because I mean, they have to notice that this is failing. The backlash just keeps piling on and piling on. Well, nobody wants this crap, right?
It's the same mindset of all the people involved, though. They're not trying to hear anything either.
That small 1% that doesn't make a dent to their profits.
Right. Who weren't interested in the first place.
Right. They're not interested.
It's like the WNBA. It's like the WNBA.
Exactly. Or with baseball. You know, baseball, they're trying to change the rules up to having more action, more runs. Why? So they can get the casual people. It's like, you're not going to make them like it with your rule changes, right?
Nope.
Same here, right? You're going to change the, like what's going on with Ghost here. Let's put a female. Nobody has a problem with a female lead. Right, we love all sorts of movies that have a female lead already. It's the way to go about it with it, and then, with the character they have behind the character, dude, it's even worse now.
Yeah. What I don't think it'll stop. I think that they're going to be more tactful about it, because you have this mob out here that's ready to pounce on every opportunity. They're going to have to do a better job. They're going to have to do a better job at presenting it. But as long as Fink is investing big money in these companies, he's gonna force behaviors. See, Microsoft is big enough to push back a little bit, but 300 billion is 300 billion, and if they pull 300 billion, then Microsoft becomes a $2 trillion company instead of a $3 trillion company. That's how much stock they have in Microsoft. So imagine how much stock do they have in other companies. They got to find a way to make everybody happy, right? People, like when it came to the Activision deal, the ponies were always the investors. That dude is the investors. You see what I'm saying? And he's one of the ones. And he's not the. There are two other ones. I don't know. I can't remember their names. That
But you remember
control
Fink.
trillions. I remember Fink because I watched his interviews and I looked into him. He's from over there. He's from over there. You know what I mean? He's part of the untouchables, right? So he's basically lumping himself in there, right? If you accept them, you accept us because, of course, when you say that you're anti, right, and that's like probably more powerful than a homophobe. You know what I mean? If you get called an anti-Semite, you know what I mean? That's about as good as you're fired. So like so when you say you accept them, you accept us. When you accept us, you accept them. It's basically encompassing everybody, but they're mainly trying to protect themselves. And depending on who you listen to, they control the money anyway. So I ain't gonna talk about it no more. I don't think it's gonna end though. I think they're gonna find new ways. I think they're gonna be more tactful about how they present it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna be as in your face as they are right now. Especially, somebody's got to put some types of clauses out there. But
be in your face, you know, that's the thing.
It did when he said so. Because see, when you got a person and you have them to be a voice actress or whatever she wants to be, she's gender fluid. So whatever she is, and she's as vocal as she is, and she's making people as upset as she is, blocking everybody who says something negative or disagrees, which is within her rights. Because the other guy, Jason Schreier, he's one of them people too, and he blocks everybody. You say something you don't agree with him, he blocks you. So as vocal as she is about her positions, like I don't think Sony banked on that because what she's doing is harming. But at this point, is it in her clause that she needs to shut up? No, and you can do that anyway because she'll put you on blast or whatever she wants to call herself. They'll put you on blast when if you would even present them with an option or some type of clause where hey, you know, just let us market the game, and then once the game is out there, then maybe you can do some talking. But she's damaging it before it even hits the market.
And you know the worst thing about it is they're hurting their own movement when they act like this. Like people would be way more accepting. Like this is not what the gay community did, bro, at all, bro. And people had issue with them too, right? But it was never like what they were forcing you, like you're the bad guy if you don't even agree with some of the outlandish shit they're saying. It's not like the fuck, bro. Like nobody's advocating violence or anything, but some of them are saying some wild and they trying to make it like you're the bad guy if you don't acquiesce to our rules and talk to us with our made up terminology and all this other stuff. That's what it is. Like it's like I said before, it's about the whole control thing. People have this innate thing where they're going to fight outside control. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And hey, man, they can keep doing that shit all they want and try to do it a different way. People see it for what it is, and now there's a whole group of people who got their eye on them. No matter how they present it, that shit will never work. I think. No matter how, you know, if they come at it a different way, this and that, it's done. It doesn't matter. I think.
So let me stop the music here real quick. Okay. And let me start something here real quick. It is related to Ghost.
It's a great line for games.
Sean Layden came out and said, if you don't like it, don't buy it. You guys remember somebody else saying that?
Yeah. And he got a lot of crap for it. He was quickly fired. That's why we got
Spencer. You're going to understand what we're trying to create and how it.
That's the best thing
you're talking about Don Matrick?
The functionality.
Yeah, that's the best thing that happened.
The advantages that you get
because without that, he probably wouldn't have been fired. Right? And we wouldn't have Phil Spencer
an online
to take his spot.
So that to me is a future-proof choice, and I think people.
Could you guys hear his audio?
Yeah, we hear it.
Yeah.
Could have arguably gone the other way if we didn't do it, and fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean, seriously, when I read the blogs and thought about...
I can't stand Jeff Keighley.
Really...
Tried to save him. No, but Jeff actually tried to save him that one time. I'm not even mad at Jeff. He was like, "You really? That's what you want to say?" Like, and he was like, "Hey, man," he tried to help him that one time. Everybody remembers that.
It's exactly what Sean Lane said about Ghost Game.
And he gets no crap for it. None at all. None.
He didn't say if you don't like it, don't buy it. He said we got something for you. If you can't keep up with the times, we have a console for you. Don't worry.
Yes, what Sean Layton said was worse.
But see, the problem with Sean Layton has a lot of things to say while he's over there at Tencent.
Yeah, well, benefits.
You know what I mean? So it's like why do we even care? Like what he has to say. Like what does he do at Tencent? You know what I mean? Like we know he's intelligent, right? He's the CEO of a company, of a business unit of a large corporation. So he's intelligent, but like you're not helping. Because honestly, a lot of real PlayStation fans still see him as the leader of PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they hang on his word. You're not helping PlayStation. One minute he's talking crap about Xbox. Next minute he's in the middle about PlayStation. Then the next minute he's back to talking crap about Xbox. And then he's telling people if you don't like it, don't buy it. It doesn't affect your money.
That's right.
But people still look at him like he works for Sony. And he doesn't. If I was whatever his name is, Hiroki Totoki, I'd be like, hey man, shut your ass up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a free world, free country, man, but hey, please keep PlayStation out of your mouth.
Yeah, man.
You're not helping us.
For us. Right. Big time too. He really is. He really is messing things up for them.
Post about or the quotes that he said that like, I've heard that one before. It's like I know that quote, like something that's close to it. It's like that was the 360 comment, or the Xbox One / 360.
But see, they have to equate it to Microsoft. Like that Microsoft had nothing to do with that. That was not the same thing. He was trying to look. And this is my problem with everybody who had a problem with Xbox back then. Everything that they said, we're doing it now with a smile.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
with a smile.
You know what I mean?
So then, dude,
I was too.
Their idea, like the idea that I took when they announced the One and all that and the DRM, is that I can still buy a physical disc, pop it in, and then once it's installed, I can take out the disc and it works just fine as a digital game. That's the way. I just can't. I can't.
I was and wasn't. Because there was just a minor issue that they need to fix, and all they needed to add was the CD key, or to use what they really had planned to do with the NFC thing that that stopped just before then, right? Because that would have been perfect.
We didn't know
situation
much about it, so that's how I took it. It's like you pop in the CD, it installs, you take out the CD, and you're done, and then it just plays automatically like it does today, right?
Right.
And I was like, all right, great. So I pre-ordered the Xbox One. I pre-ordered Forza. What was it? Forza at the time? 5? Boom.
The 3.
Or 3.
No. 5.
Or
5.
4.
Yeah,
whichever it was.
It was 5. It was 5.
I ordered the physical copy of that one. I ordered 2 physical copies of a game. I forgot. It was Forza and some other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, after the announcement, after I went to GameStop, pre-ordered everything I wanted, then the whole backlash thing about the DRM, like, oh my god. And then Don Matrick with his interview about like, oh, if you don't like it, it's like, oh man, it just made it worse, right? I'm still like going rah. It's like, I'm still down for this, man. This is what I want, right? I don't want to put the disc in there anymore, but I still want my physical disc. So this satisfied both my digital only guy and the physical guy, because I still liked physical then, right? It's like, oh, so I get to have the case, I get the CD, put it on my shelf, showcase my stuff and yada yada. But at the same time, I have a digital game. It works, and I'm happy with that too. Right?
For me, what I realized was, because towards the end of the life of the 360, like that generation went on way too long. So I started messing with PC a lot more for years before that generation ended, right? Because it was already at a point where a lot of those games were coming to PC day one, right? Now the games weren't $50 anymore. Now, PC had finally jumped up to 60, but it even take like a high-end PC to get these games at 1080p, right? When the 360 and the PS3 at best were 7, and I mean at best were 720p, because internally they were really running even lower than that at that point, right? And even before, Call of Duty was always 600p actually, or some variant therein. But anyway, right? Like so that's when Steam really started to be a big deal, and the big picture mode and all that other stuff, right? So for me, I was already all in with digital, and even before then, I stopped messing with GameStop because GameStop had already started fucking up even before then, and I was messing heavily with Amazon. So if I was buying a game, I'm just getting it from Amazon anyway. It came to my house. By the time I'm home from work, it was already at my doorstep, or somebody in my house already brought it in, right? And it's just on the kitchen table for me when I walk into the house from work. I can just grab my game and go play it. So I didn't have to do anything or go anywhere for games. Mm-hmm. So at first, I didn't like what Xbox was doing day one until the next day when they announced they weren't doing the DRM, only because I knew they could have had the best of both worlds by just having a CD key with the game, right? Yeah. That way you had the digital rights and the physical rights with the disc, and that would have solved everything. And in fact, that's what originally the plan was. They were going to use like NFC, right, on the disc, and the driver was going to have a scanner, and Sony was going to provide that technology. And this is why GameStop and everything else was supposed to be involved when you went to like resell your games, even though it was digital. It was going to be a whole setup, and Sony's the one who backed out of that, right, and fucked that whole situation up, right? But Xbox is the one who took the brunt of it. But we didn't know all of that until after. But at the time, and even the next day, I pre-ordered the Xbox One the next day. But that first day I didn't, because it just made no sense to me, and it didn't really matter. I could just buy digital again, and I wasn't too sure if I wanted the Xbox One anyway, because I was so heavily into PC for that split second, right? And by the time I had already changed my mind, even before they had reneged on the DRM thing, I had already decided, oh man, I do need one anyway. What the hell am I saying? Mm-hmm. And then I went to bed. I wake up next day, they're already off of that. And you remember that picture of the animated GIF of what's his name in Texas, man? Latin dude, Angry Joe, right? He debated with he debated with what's his face.
Dude, Dreamcast guys in Texas too.
Is he really?
Yeah, man. A lot of these guys are in Texas. But Angry Joe, he
making us look bad
from the UK, right? He debated. No. At that point, he wasn't. Right? And so he was advocating for what everybody who was saying, like, but bro, you could do it XYZ and have the best of both worlds. And it was that guy from the UK who had that fake tattoo of GTA 5 of GTA 4 on his arm. I used to work at Sega. What's his name? I forget his name, but you know what I mean, right? And he debated
Peter
with him
Moore?
Peter Moore. He debated with him back and forth because he was at E3, and so they were talking, and they were having a bit of an argument about it, right? But it wasn't on no personal thing, but right? And so like the next day, okay, he's back home already or something, or he was doing it from a hotel, and you can go look up a picture of Angry Joe, right, where he plays the video of what they were saying before, right? Oh, they can't do it, right? Because that's what Peter Moore said. Oh, they can't do it, right? As if the technical minds were already broken down. We're like, yeah, it would be possible if XYZ, right? And all of a sudden, the next day when they announced that it would be all good, I've seen this picture of Angry Joe, where all of a sudden the camera switches back to him, and he's looking, and he's just looking left there. He's not moving his head, but he's looking left and right. And if you look up the meme, that's what that meme is for. Yeah. If you ever see that meme of him doing that, and it was just this whole stupid thing that didn't have to be. But I mean, back to the point that originally got us on this tangent. Yeah, man, everybody used to complain about that shit back then because they wanted to talk shit about Xbox. And don't forget about that whole thing with what's that part of the government? Not CIA, the NSA with Project Prism, right? And Microsoft, and it wasn't just Microsoft too. It was all the big companies, all the big tech companies. There was a it's not a contract, but it's like I forget what they call it, right? But basically, it's a secret thing. They're not allowed to reveal that the government is doing this in the paperwork, that they're not allowed to do it. So it wasn't just Microsoft doing it. No. It was the NSA. I forget what they call it, but basically, they're not allowed to reveal that they're doing this thing where they were, tracking people. That's why somebody in the government who was involved in, I forget that one guy who was in the army.
Oh,
he snitched on. Yeah, Snow. And Edward Snowden. Yeah, Snowden. He had to snitch on it, right? That's why the public knew what really happened, and eventually they stopped the whole program, right? But basically, it was a secret thing. So Microsoft, Google, Apple were all involved, but only Microsoft got blamed for it. If you read any articles about it from the time, it was Microsoft taking all the brunt. But meanwhile, they were all doing it because they had to. It wasn't a choice for them. They have to follow what the government is saying, right? And but so all those things was happening around the same time, right? And so you see it now with the Xbox tax. It all started back then, but like I've always said in the past, people have always been hating on Microsoft, right?
They always have,
and even now,
it's because it's Windows and Windows this, and then it's Office and Office this, and like now Xbox. It's
the same thing that happened with the browsers then, and it's happening now once again. Apparently in the EU, all the smaller browsers like Opera and all the no-name ones,
the Windows Live
that you don't know about. All those smaller browsers that you don't know about. I don't mean Firefox. I mean Opera and all them other ones that nobody knows. That's like got 1% or 0.5% of market share, right?
But somehow
they're all complaining to the EU about Edge, which is like 5% of the market. 69% is Chrome, but they're still saying, "Oh, Microsoft is doing illegal things with Edge and trying to push when they have no fucking market share at all." And the EU already told them the first time, "Fuck out of here," for lack of better terms, right?
Nuts.
But like they're back at it again. It's the same stupid mindset. It's like Microsoft is the great evil no matter what. Trust me, Microsoft has done some fucked up things, and trust me, I know all about that retro stuff in terms of PCs and stuff too, and technology and all of that. Mm-hmm. Yo, you should go read about the fuckery that IBM used to do. Ridiculous. But yeah, man.
All right,
ridiculous, frankly.
You sent me this article here about this new thing. So what's this about?
So, it's just like the headline says.
Yeah. Apple announces new agreement to produce Power mobile game. There's going to be a mobile version, even though all this stuff that's going on with Nintendo, they're like, screw it, we're going to double down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go mobile now.
This is the same crafting that bought the developers of Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah. Tango Gameworks. Okay, the same guys who say, they don't see a profit in making a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. Right? Yeah. Right? It all comes back around when all these people are saying all this negative stuff back and forth, like I just explained about Microsoft. But here it is again. Nintendo doing their fuckery. Fuck Nintendo. And crafting is pushing forward, bro. Because in China, Pal World blew up in China. Even though it blew up here, bro, it blew up in China. So they're going to push for it anyway. Let them block it in Japan and here in the US. They'll keep pushing in China because China don't give a fuck. Yeah. We all know it. So they don't care either.
a lot of people don't know who Crafton is. I'm listening to people talk about this. Like, they got one of the biggest games on the market. That's right up there with the best of them. PUBG.
That's them.
They got a lot of money. So like, Nintendo can't intimidate them.
Nope.
And Nintendo, obviously, I mean, they do need competition. Mm-hmm. They're not innovating. This is why I don't like fans. Right? They complain about every entry, but they still buy it for full price.
Yep.
Like, the game comes out buggy, but they still sell 15 million, 20 million units of these games. They're not doing anything new to innovate with these games.
Dude, I seen
but I don't think.
And they'll tell you they do as well.
Nothing. But see, and another thing is like, what's the name of that company? Pocket Pair. They have partnerships with Sony.
Mm-hmm, for the anime.
They have partnerships with Animapix. I can't remember the name of the company, but
Aniplex.
Who?
Aniplex. Which I think is owned by Sony. Which I think is owned by Sony. So yeah.
So at the end of the day, they're not just gonna have to fight. Excuse me, Pocket Pair, because you got other companies bigger than Nintendo with a vested interest.
Yep.
So I don't blame Nintendo for trying. Nintendo and PlayStation have the same attitude. They're afraid of competition. They don't like competition. They don't want any. I can appreciate Nintendo because Nintendo's always been consistent. I can't remember one time where you saw well, I guess in a sense, maybe no, because I think Breath of the Wild did it, and then Assassin's Creed started doing certain things. Nintendo pretty much does their own thing, and they're original. I give them the props for that. They're original. They don't trend chase. Like they'll try new things.
Except when they do. Like they did with Zelda. You just mentioned it. Except when they do.
Did they come first, or did
they didn't come
did Assassin's
first
Creed come first?
Assassin's Creed was out since.
No. Assassin's Creed was trash before. I don't care if you liked it. Cool. I don't like.
I'm not saying it was a good game or not.
I'm talking about the new Assassin's Creeds where they're open world, free roam, and you got to climb to the top of the mountain or the top of the whatever and get
Assassin's Creed did all that first. That's what I'm saying. It didn't matter if it was good or not. I'm just saying they did it first.
I'm talking about those Assassin's Creeds. Because that's where Nintendo that's where Nintendo and Breath of the Wild have similarities, and then Ubisoft came out with man, that's unfortunate, bro. Because I really like that game, Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising,
great game.
Basically, did a lot of things that I think better.
Could have been.
I mean, just because they're more capable as far as on the technical side, but then you had. What's the name of the other one? Tears of the Kingdom, where you're basically building things. So the way Nintendo sees it is, you should go try to do something new and original on your own, right? The whole monster catching thing, right? You have Monster Hunter, but Nintendo came out with this. Well, whatever. They bought Game Freak. Game Freak came out with the whole throw the balls and catch the monsters. They feel like you should go do something else. Go find another way to catch them. Go get a lasso. Go do whatever you can to catch your monsters, but don't catch your monsters the way we catch them. Because Nintendo's attitude about third party, they didn't like third party, which is why they handled them the way they did, and back when they were in the position they can. Yeah. Because they said it doesn't make sense for everybody to sell the same games, right? So I see where they're coming from. But I don't think they can win this one, because you can't bully a company that has companies bigger than you backing them with a vested interest. Because if you sue, but see, Nintendo don't want them to exist. That's the problem. See, whereas like Microsoft's like, okay, we're not getting along. Hey, we can all eat here, right? PlayStation is like, no, we want you gone. Nintendo is like, no, we want you gone.
Yep.
Microsoft was like, there's enough for us to go around. Because what I was about to suggest is if they enter some type of partnership where they can, hey, if you feel like if you win here, if you won, because Nintendo has patents on the balls, how many times the balls shake, things like that. The fact that you threw the ball, that you threw the ball in the first place, Nintendo has patents on these things.
What if you just toss the ball?
Roll it. I don't know.
Underhanded instead of just
make it a diamond. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Jump on this and crack it on the head like an egg. I don't know. But see, the thing is Nintendo doesn't want anything resembling it, right? So that's going to be the problem. Nintendo's going to try to get them gone, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off, because I think that Sony crafting out, hey man, that's enough. 5%, 10% goes to Nintendo. How's that sound? Nintendo's like, no, we don't want you to exist, because guess what?
Right. You're doing the same thing Sony did. Yep.
They could be like, Nintendo is just as fragile as Sony. Remember, like the Wii U is not that long ago.
Right, man. And they were near death off of that. That's what I'm saying.
The GameCube is not that long ago.
Get down or lay down. It's going to happen sooner than later. That's what I'm saying.
But I understand why they're doing what they're doing, because they did create it, and it is similar. Now, the difference in Power World is it's more of a survival game than a monster catching game.
Yeah.
It's more of a survival management game.
Yep.
But Nintendo's going to focus on the things that look like Pokemon. And I don't think that Nintendo's going to compromise.
And the irony is all it does is put more eyes onto it. Yo, what's this thing that Nintendo was afraid of?
What's going to put more eyes on it is once it hits those app stores. Yeah. It's going to get crazy. What's going to get crazy is when people actually know the names of these monsters from Power World. the way that, because see, I had to give Louis his flowers. Louis was right, because I was like, man, ain't no way this shit gonna be able to compete, man. And it has so far, just this round. You know what I mean? But people still don't know the monsters. No kids are collecting Power World cards, but that could all change. You know, if they do this, if they position this right. And so this is what Nintendo sees, because Nintendo's basically had a monopoly on the monster market.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You had Digimon, but it was really no competition for Pokemon.
But apparently Dragon Quest had some kind of prior art even before Pokemon was a thing, and there was some kind of shenanigans involving that. I'm not exactly sure what's.
But are you catching monsters though?
Right. No, it was something about catching monsters and stuff before Pokemon. That's why I said prior art that already existed. And the patent they started that patent like last year or whatever. It's like, man, it's all bullshit. Frankly, just is what it is. But
you mad at Nintendo? But I see
I'm
where
just
Nintendo's
saying, man.
coming from.
It's like, but you see where it's coming from. Like, you saw the game I showed, Mario Adventure 3. I fuck with Nintendo shit, man. And if they come out with the Super before yesterday, I said, dude, Nintendo potentially is gonna get hundreds of dollars out of me that they're almost.
Nintendo know you fuck with they shit, but they want you to fuck with they shit, not shit that look like they shit.
But I was gonna fuck with their shit, but the way they keep doing it, I'm like, fuck them.
It's a lot of shit.
I just won't do it at all, so they can get nothing, and I'll be happy about it. That's how a lot of people feel.
Well, I know how y'all feel, but I know how Nintendo feels.
I don't care about
company feels if there's a side to pick, if I was to get behind some rally cry, would be the consumer. But since we're in this public forum and we're just talking, I can't be mad at Nintendo for protecting. This is exactly what I would do if I was Nintendo. I would want to protect what was mine, right? I don't know how you came up, but I came up in the hood, okay? And no random guy could just come do what I was doing because he felt like it. You know what I mean? Even though we don't, even though
they should parlay and try to make more money.
Those are the biggest thugs.
Yeah, exactly. So, because like I say many times, all the dudes from my block died. You know how some people say, "Oh, some went to jail, some died, some stopped, whatever."
We talked about that.
Every dude I know died. All of them died. I think the last one died in like 92, and I left the hood in 94.
Man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it is what it is. What it is. I
But
understand what it is.
you got to understand, they're infringing on what they do. And Nintendo, I can't just other than this whole thing with Assassin's Creed. What has Nintendo ripped from somebody? Because this is what I'm saying. They practice what they preach.
They don't know about that.
Okay, well, tell me an example. Give me an example.
Because they tried all this other shit with Power World and none of it stuck. And now they found this new thing, this new way to get at Power World.
No. This ain't about the suit. This is not about the suit. I'm talking about Nintendo's originality in the way they develop video games.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
But see, that's the problem. Because you have to understand, but you have to understand the mindset. The mindset is you go create. You can't be mad at them then if you don't want to understand.
I'm the consumer. I don't have to give a fuck about none of this.
You don't have to, but this is why Nintendo is doing what they're doing. That's all I'm saying.
That's not why Nintendo is doing what they're doing. Nintendo is doing what they're doing because they see a threat and they want to stomp it out any way they can. If it was for them to have ninjas run up in their offices and kill people, they would do that. Okay, they don't.
It would be different if it was if it had zero what is the word zero resemblance to anything that they did. Nintendo would have nothing to say, but since it does, they do. You see what I'm saying? Now they're talking about media. Now it's like, oh shoot,
putting more attention to it because stuff has been out, right? And Pokemon is still on top, and Digimon is just like another thing that people know exists, but can't even hold a candle to Pokemon.
I'm talking about Power World.
But I'm saying,
Power World. Look,
Digimon though. Back then,
because earlier when we were talking about Epic and we were talking about what Epic is doing and what Microsoft's planning to do, I got love for Disruptors. I got love for Power World. I spent more time in Power World than all the Pokemon games combined. Right? I've only played 3. Full disclosure. But Nintendo is looking at them saying they're about to build a brand inspired by our brand. And they don't like
They're really not. They're really not.
Yes, they are.
Different type of game. It's a
different type of game. But too many of these things look just like Nintendo.
So what?
What was the first thing that everybody said when Power World came out? Oh, it's a Pokemon with guns.
Pokemon with guns.
Yeah.
Until people played it and they were like, "Oh, it's a different game."
It has different mechanics, but what brought everybody in is that it looked like Pokemon and you could play it on other platforms.
And just like I said, what happened to Digimon? They tried the same thing, and guess what? Digimon still exists, and it doesn't hold a candle to Pokemon, but it still exists. They couldn't stop it out either, and it had anime. Movies,
they tried though,
but they tried because they see that. But that's what I'm saying. They sit there, they're afraid, and all they did with Digimon was give it more acclaim, more eyes, more notoriety. It's the same thing they're doing in Power World. If they didn't sit there and act this way, right? And they look at Doke V. Wait till Doke V comes out and makes them look stupid. Right? Because everybody, from the first time they saw it, everybody's like, yo, that's what Pokemon should be. Eventually, yeah, what you
D-O-K-E? Spell it? Doke V?
Something like that.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, can I just Google it till something comes up? All right.
Yeah. It looked like Pokemon in terms of the graphics and art style. And people were like, yo, this is the art style that we want from Pokemon. But it's a different type of game entirely as well. I don't even know if it has like any monsters you capture or anything like that. I think it's just like a community type of game. I could be wrong though, but it's just about the art style when people see it. And we're like, dude, this is what we want from Pokemon when they're doing like an open world Pokemon game. Graphics like that.
Said we'll give it to you hoes when we're ready.
Hey man, but that's how they act, and people are like, you know what? Fuck you then.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah. And Nintendo said people think what you got is blue magic, Power World.
Nah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Tech?
Yeah, American Gangster. Yeah, he knows.
I'm the guy in the back who just laughing like, hey.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
So I did something corny, but I say, what the hell? It's free. I'm not gonna, it's whatevs. And I told you guys, I put the store on my channel here. So now there's TEKNOBLAST merch on the website.
Nice.
That's my big.
Oh, that's tight.
His logo with the cups and the shirts and the tote bag. And then if you go to
what did it? Do they make it to order or something?
Yeah.
Or you got to stop?
No. They make it to order.
Yeah, made to order.
So you go, like, for example, this T-shirt. You go to it. It takes you to a store. You can pick your size. You can pick your color combination. Really.
I'm gonna get me a mug.
Right?
I'm gonna get me a mug.
And then
I could use a new mug.
I get a beanie.
And then I
your beanie head. Might get a hoodie though.
So they give you like a shitload of products, right? And you select the ones you want to promote. So you like, they have tons more than what I have here, but it's like, okay, I think these are more like the most affordable and more kind of like more useful than just a T-shirt and a hat or something. But yeah, man. But I can't set the prices. The prices are set what they are, and but
you couldn't increase them if you wanted to. No, of course you couldn't decrease them because eventually like there would be a limit.
I think there's ways to do like sales, like a promotional coupon or something like that. I haven't figured that out yet.
Right.
But there's ways to do that too. But I was like, let me try it. And I was like, I did it. And I was like, oh man, it took some learning to do, like fiddling around on how to get this going. And I finally got it going. I was like, okay, I figured it out now. So,
not so bad, huh?
not everything's showing up here. Like I have more products on the page, but I was hoping more will show up here, and I can't control that either. What shows it just kind of automatically feeds into YouTube. But I want to get some. I want to get the mug. I want to get the cup, and like a T-shirt. That's what I want to get.
Sweet.
I'll probably get it after I get back from my trip.
Yes, Macross Zero has finally come out on Blu-ray in America. Thank God.
And so I was like, I spent a day trying to figure out how this stupid thing works. I'm like, the store on here. I finally figured it out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, look, I joined in on the corny train here, man. The corny, the shop. And so it has the little store link in the front, and then if you go to a video, like any individual video, it should show at the bottom. Unless it doesn't show. There it is. So any of my videos, it shows up at the bottom.
Oh, cool.
That's how they got it promoting. So yeah, there's that.
Hey, one last thing that I want to show you guys, because I think I do want to get one in the mug, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to put it up on the thing. 1 second here. Shit. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to. So I just posted in thing. So Realist, I don't know if you heard about this, but Undisputed is about to be early access on Steam, and so they got the pre-order. You get Roy Jones Jr., the '93 version.
So we gotta pay. We gotta pay a gear.
No, this is for the console version, right?
Okay.
I don't know what happened with Steam. If you have to pay again to get him, maybe it's a DLC. So I have no idea. I don't own the game on Steam. I don't own the game, period. So, but yeah, because it's about to come out next week on console finally.
On 11.
Talking about it, and so I saw the headline about it was leaving early access on PC finally. I guess because it's going to coincide with the console release. Let me ask you a question. Do you know if it's cross-play between those versions? What's up,
What'd
Sega,
you say?
man?
What did it do, Sega, man? You said is it cross? I don't know.
You don't know?
I doubt it though.
It looks good though, because I saw the video that Hip Hop Gamer had posted on Twitter where he was playing it. It looks like Fight Night, right? More up to date, but I mean, you're the guy who knows a lot more about the sweet science than I do.
The one thing that
the same level.
No, because I mean you got to look at it. I mean EA is worth $50 billion, but like one thing about this team, right? Steel City, they've done a phenomenal job of unifying the whole boxing community. Because I mean, you guys don't watch boxing, but boxing is very fragmented. Yes. Like every boxer is their own person. That's why, like, there's a UFC 5, and we've been waiting 13 years for a boxing game. So they have to negotiate with each individual boxer, right? But one of the big things is, you guys don't know him, but if you look him up, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's involved.
I'll link to the footage that I was talking about.
So he's involved with it. He's putting money behind the game.
Oh,
because Turkey Al-Sheikh is a what do you call it? Like royal billionaire, like Saudi.
Yeah, Saudi.
Right?
Yeah.
So
he's an oil billionaire.
He's just the family. More than likely, but he's highly invested in boxing. He's the one responsible for putting a lot of these guys that we wouldn't see fight together. Right? We just watched Bakoli knock out with young boy Jared Anderson, Terrence Crawford. He's trying to put Terrence Crawford and Canelo together. He's putting together a lot. He tried to get Javante to fight somebody. He priced himself out. He's big, and
he's a fan of boxing.
That's what I was about to say before you cut me off. He's a huge boxing fan, and he has the money to make things come together, right? Because a lot of things when it comes to boxing, they fight about money more than anything. He's like, I got the money. Let's come to a fair price to make this happen. I just wanted to kind of lay a backdrop for him so that you understand how big it is to have a guy like him invested in this game. It's the only boxing game on the market, and he's behind it. So Steel City has proven that they're a hard-working team. They're moving slower. Of course, they're going to move a lot slower than the EA, because if it was EA, it would have been done.
Yeah, long ago.
But you got a guy like Turkey behind him. The studio has proven that they're going to put in the work and keep building the game. I've been saying the game's not ready, and people need to get their expectations in check. I'm glad that people are excited, but if you come in expecting to see the best of the best AAA, you're not going to get it. Because unless there's this update that comes and it's completely different than what I've been playing.
Well, that's probably the most recent version right there that they're playing, right? The most representative of, because it's coming out next week. It would have had to went gold last week, right, to go to printing. At least 2 weeks they need to print this, right? So they would have to at least had did the 1.0 last week. But it's like with the Steam community, which is also the other reason why I like the fact that they started with Steam, right? Where they did the whole early access thing, because they have the community there to talk to people and get feedback, and then you got the boxing community to come together, right, and talk. And because I've seen some of the headlines in the forum. Well, in Steam, every game has a forum, right? So the forum for this game, I've read the headlines, I did a cursory look of things, and I see people would say, hey, I need to do X, Y, Z because in boxing, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to put all the details together, from outside criticism, from people who have the early access, right? And so it seems to me a lot of that has been put into the game. A lot of that actually has been, to what's the opposite of the detriment? To the benefit of the game.
Benefit.
Right? Right. And even though it's not an EA production, where there's lots of money involved in it, this guy that you say, I've heard his name before vaguely, right? What he's doing the boxing.
He's in UFC too.
Oh, that's why I know him.
This dude is a huge fight fan. Dana loves him. Everybody, the dude got money. He's putting together fights. Okay, when you see Tyson Fury and you don't watch boxing. When you see these big fights happen in Saudi Arabia and these dudes are getting 85 million and 60 million, he's the one behind that.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's making the big fights happen with his money and resources. Great, and that's my point, right? He's helping this out, but to a certain degree. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It kind of sound like a robot. What did you say? Is the last part?
He also involved in this? Is that what you were saying with this game here? Is he?
Oh yeah. He put money behind him. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying the whole time. Okay. He put money. He put money behind them. And see, the way that this could work, it could kind of be like a service-ish type of thing, because they don't have the full roster. But if they treat it like a service game or instead of an annual type of release, then they could keep working on this version and charge for more packs and keep getting funding that way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they've proven that they're going to keep working at it. But now that they got a guy like him funding them, they're just going to keep working.
Now they're getting big name boxers in it. Eventually, they got Roy Jones. That'll just be at the beginning.
Roy Jones been there, bro. They just kicked out Ryan Garcia. He was one of the boxers that was in there, but then they told him, he's not going to be in there because he was calling.
What I was about to say is that I think one day the big payday is when they get Mike Tyson in, right? Or for DLC or whatever they do, right?
Is Tyson in there?
I don't think he is now. This is what I'm saying. If he's not, that'll be a big money play for them, or Tyson Fury or whatever other big name that they don't have.
Fury's in there. They got Big Daddy Bo in there. They got Lomachenko in there. They got a lot of guys.
Well, they got that one dude who's wrestling. His brother is wrestling, but he's a boxer. KSI's friend.
Jake Paul.
Yeah. Jake Paul. Because Logan Paul wrestled, and he's doing great over there. He got the respect of the wrestlers and stuff. He really is trying hard and stuff, right? And he has great matches in terms of wrestling, right? He does an awesome job, right? But his brother, is known in the boxing world. I don't think he's in this game either, but that'll be another big money play for them. I'll make a DLC where they add him, stuff like that, right? Or you get big names from the past where you get or Muhammad Ali.
I want to go be another character. Who's that big dude? I don't know, some rando.
Because see what can happen with the way that they have to get people to be a part of the roster. You can end up cannibalizing just like all your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if everybody's asking for, this is why like people like make fun of EA for giving everybody a copy of the game at $600.
Yeah.
But they also have a deal with it. Well, see, that's different. I'm talking about college. But NFL, they make a deal with NFL. You know, UFC, they make a deal with UFC. But when it comes to college, everybody gets a copy of the game at $600, except for Archie Manning. So, like, it just depends on how they're gonna get it done. Because I don't think Floyd is in it. You know, certain different guys want different amounts
of money. Yeah. So eventually, as it grows and gets more successful, then they'll want to do it, and then it will be the payday. You know, on the day that the DLC comes out, which is what I've been saying all along.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why we don't get fight nights. Is because of how fragmented boxing is and how hard it is to get everybody together. And then like the boxers who have gone on, you got to deal with their families.
Yeah.
And a lot of them probably burnt all the money.
Ali family. Yeah.
Well, Ali's gonna always like his family loves to have him out there. He ain't gonna miss again.
Oh,
Ali,
so
Ali's in every boxing game.
Great to see that, right? When you talk about a sport where there's female competition, right? In boxing, and in fact, look, the footage we saw, that was women at the very beginning there, right? Okay, there's a situation where the message, right, ain't a part of the situation. Nobody has a problem with that because they see women fight all the time in boxing. It's not going to be a problem, you know. In fact, it will probably be a lot easier to get women involved in terms of like women boxers, right? Because they're not as known, and if they're trying to come up on a paycheck, even if it's a smaller paycheck compared to the men, they're more likely to do it.
You're sexist.
I'm just saying what it is. How am I being sexist when they fight just like the men? And boom, there will be. And it's just like in the UFC. I always think with the UFC, like the women fights are 10 times more exciting. You know why? Because as soon as the bell rings, they're in there like rah. And oftentimes the men are like that because sometimes they're trepidatious, right? But the women, 99% of the time, they just come out there ready to just go.
Hey, you know what else? Women go harder in? What? Lingerie football.
Ironically, they really do. They're really going out there trying to kill each other.
Bro, that was crazy. I saw that girl booty. She had strawberries all on her booty. Yeah. I'm like, dang, she popped right up though.
Yep.
That girl tried to knock her head off.
Yeah, and people, the feminists will say all this kind of wild stuff, but they're out there really trying to kill each. Like they compete harder than the men. That's another example. You're really right. They really, you laugh, but it's true. They really do.
I know.
Sick is developing Caitlin Clark WNBA.
Oh man, 2K more like, because I don't think life could ever compete against 2K the way it is now, man. Like EA messed that up.
Like in the WNBA game, but charge it $30. Because I don't know.
It can just be a part of 2K, man. Just have the women.
Trying to ride the coattails of the men's one, man. Get your own game, just like Real is saying, man. If you want your own game, we'll make it your own. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. In boxing,
a totally separate one, just WNBA. 2K.
Well, they didn't do that with. They didn't do that with the UFC because in a UFC event, you can go from male fight to a female fight, back and forth. So boxing, it's the same thing too. So like, no, I'm fine with that because it was always like that.
Well, boxing doesn't have a governing body. See, like UFC has a governing body. So UFC is the UFC. So there's going to be the men's and the women's divisions. NBA. Basically the NBA owns the WNBA. If the NBA didn't put money into the WNBA wouldn't make any money.
Yeah, and they don't make any money now. Developing Caitlin Clark. Oh, that's what you were reading. Oh, Kieran saying, okay, I got you. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, man. Let's end this, man. I think we made up our
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
And he said that like, man, I'm tired of this shit.
I'm tired of this boxing shit, man. Nah, I'm cool. No, it did get me all frazzled up. That's the first I kind of really got thrown off by not starting on time.
Hey, did y'all try to Starfield? Did y'all try Starfield yet though? Before y'all go?
No, I haven't.
I didn't yet.
I don't want to start nothing because I'm going to Houston tomorrow. I'm heading to H-Town tomorrow.
What? Oh, your people. But no, I don't know how to get the Shattered Space started, so I just went back in the base building.
Oh, you just have to go to a like a system. You have to jump to a system where there's no.
No, I've done all that, and I've completed one small step or whatever the name of that quest is. You have to do. I guess it'll kick off when it wants to. But I found a bounty hunter quest I never found before, like a quest line where I have to go be a bounty hunter.
Oh. Okay.
The Trackers Alliance. I assume that it's always been there, but I don't know.
I finished the game.
They added some new ones
too. I never started a new one, or whatever you want to call it.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity. Not me. I'm in my second. Now, huh? Yeah, I'm a Starboard, but I ain't. I'm not gonna do it 36 times. I mean, it's still the same game. After a while, I get tired of it. Cause like J-Rock, like them boys were going in hard, bro. Them boys are like him and I think Black Viking, like that.
Sheikah, oh my God, goes nuts for that, bro. He was trying to Sheik before.
I don't know about Sheik, but I know J-Rock, and I think it was Black Viking. The one said he had done it 10 times because you get a new suit at 10, and the other one was like, I've done it 11. Like, man, hell, I don't know if I have that kind of patience. I know
all the powers and shit. Yeah.
I know you can skip. You can skip around.
You can skip the main quest directly to the final thing, couldn't you?
You can skip the main quest, shit, because if you did it before and just do all the side stuff instead, and then I think it keeps the progress of what you had before, or something. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. We'll end it. We'll go ahead and end this, man. I'm about to play Starfield until I go to sleep.
Play, shoot. Nobody's stopping you. God.
Yeah. End this.
All right, man.
All right, fellas.
Peace, chat.
Peace. Shout out to the chat, man.
Coming out.
Equal job.